Hey everybody, it's Liz. So I wanted to talk to you today about an emotional response to adverse events. How do you respond? Do you get angry, mad? Do you get depressed and anxious? We're going to get into all of that and what I recommend because there may be some adverse events coming down the pike. So we'll get into all of these. Stick around. Well, hey everyone, I wanted to talk today again about what I recommend for an emotional response to adverse events. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you hear some terrible news. There's flames burning in places, there's earthquakes in places, there's storms in places, there's trains crashing, there's food places burning down, there's animals being destroyed, there's properties being destroyed, people are losing homes, people are dying, children are going missing. What weather is hitting the East Coast, weather is hitting the West Coast. This is in the US. It's all over, stuff in Turkey, and anyway, so it's bad news. And a lot of times it does harm us. There is harm. Even with what we call false flag events, that people are harmed. Okay, so let's say you watch mainstream news. Well, it's usually pretty bad. I would give it about 10% truth rating, but how do you know what parts are true? Okay, the rest is fear porn, but how do you know? For example, this weekend I drove right into Tropical Storm Ophelia at the Carolina coast to the Outer Banks because I was like, really, it's really that bad? Now, Friday night was interesting. We lost power for 5 hours. But by Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, it was bright and beautiful and a little overcast. But we drove up and down, my friends and I drove up and down the outer and inner banks of North Carolina, and we didn't see the terribles that was posted on the mainstream news. Now, maybe somewhere, some places, but in general, we were all about our business. People going to Starbucks, people going to Lowe's to get their lumber, stuff like that. So that's an example. I'm just saying. So let's say instead you watch alternative news. Sometimes we call it the alternative right. We call it the alt-right news. That leans to the right of the political aisle. So I also will call that fear porn. I think a lot of the folks who report, I'm not going to name names, but at the moment, at least, a lot of people who are reporting over the alt-right news are reporting intel. What they're given is intel, but which is instead actually what the bad guys want to do to us, what they'd like to do to us. But a lot of these plans are never enacted because they don't have the power of the money and they're losing it at a rapid rate. So it's not intel, it's actually, here, tell them this, give them some, scare them this way, freak them out this way, freak them out this way. And they're just unknown shills. They just think they're doing good, but they're just sharing bad guy shit. Some of them I think are actually paid shills. Like, I'll tell them this and we'll give you this much money. So I think I've seen that, and I've been following the alt-right news for 10 years, and I've seen a lot of changes, deaths, changes, people changing their tune, people spouting out the same old shit, and it's so much bullshit, really. But but how do you know it's true? It's really hard. We're in this space where how do you know what to believe and what to know? Well, of course, the answer is going inside and using your discernment and developing that, which is why I'm doing this channel. What else I want to say? This includes, by the way, this year's CD flu and the fake jabby jab they're going to push. I don't believe they have the power to actually carry out their sinister deeds, right? So how do you respond? And I will name some others. I do follow Cliff High. I do follow the remote viewer Dick Allgaier. I do follow Benjamin Fulford. I give them all like an 80% accuracy rating. Like, I think they're really interesting to follow. Like, I love the people and also Kim Gogan. I follow people who are real outliers that just are thinking outside the box, seriously, and not spouting. Also, Ken Wheeler from Theoria Hypothesis, Greek, Liz. I think Theoria Hypothesis on YouTube. I think he's smart too. But really, it's using your own discernment, really, at the end of the day. I think these guys are saying some interesting things, but a lot of them are spouting, saying that there's going to be an event, right? October 4, the September 23rd, which came and went. There's an event, there's potential financial collapse, blah, blah, blah. Please don't get upset at this moment about all that stuff. But how do you respond? Are you hopeful? Are you angry? Do you have a righteous anger? Does it get you sad or depressed? Do I take my money out? What do I do with my money? Are you freaking out? Are you freaking out other people? Are you sharing the memes, the scary memes, the awful memes of the dementia dude that's in the White House? So are you sad? Are you depressed? Are you anxious? Are you upset? I'm here to tell you, and I've said this before, probably a lot, that your negative emotions actually, in a crazy way, I won't get into it now, actually feed the bad guys. It gives them the energy. There actually are energy collection devices that actually collect your depression. All the emotions that are on the lower end of the emotional scale are collected and can be used to actually create more flames, more hurricanes, more tropical storms. And your anxiety as you watch about the tropical storms and this, like, oh my God, we got to do this, we got to do that. That anxiety actually causes more. It actually creates more of it. I mean, believe me or not, I'm telling you metaphysically, shamanically, it's true. And your energy is collected and stored, and also weakens you because your energy is used for that, and it's actually taken from you to feed other things and events and tragedies. So you give them energy. And I'm not saying these emotions are wrong. Of course, have them, process them. I would never suggest that you compartmentalize. I would say, have the anger, like, God damn it. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, what do I do? For the moment, process it, and again, that's why I have this channel, process it. But then you have to process those emotions and move on. Okay. So you may not realize this, but we are hugely powerful creators. We're creating all day long anyway, whether we like it or not. You're creating beautiful surroundings. You're creating terrible events and situations around you. As you know, I keep saying, Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Whether you think your life's terrible or you think your life's wonderful, you're right. You continue to create that reality. The challenge is, and why coaching these folks can be challenging, is that when you think the world's terrible, it's terrible. Like I was coaching a fellow and he's like, no, Liz, people are out to get you and they're terrible, shitty people. And you got to watch out for them. Like, right. They're there because you think that way. No, they really are there. And I think most of the world thinks like that. No, they really are there. You have to manage them. Yes. In the moment you do, you created that reality. Your parents created that, raising you and creating this reality for you. But you can change that reality where the shitty people are elsewhere. You're bothering other people who believe that they're shitty people in the world. So, but you create all day long anyway, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you're manifesting in your best interest or not. Okay. So, you don't want, I think that if you wake up every day going, oh shit to this and oh shit to that, and oh my God, you're going to create a very bad day for yourself for sure. So I want to just offer you that warning and some suggestions. I would say, as you hear the bad news, okay, here's what you do. Of course you want to know what's going on. Oh, there's something headed to the Carolinas. There's something headed to California. There's something in the middle of the country. There's something in Turkey. There's something in Nagorno-Karabakh and Azerbaijan. There's something in Greece, in Crete, blah, 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 all over, in Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. Here's what I suggest. You get the news headline because, of course, you want to know what's going on. If you want to listen to the news to get some more, perhaps fake details, for sure, go ahead. If you have emotions to process, go, okay, but what I've suggested you say, I do not consent, cancel, or cancel, clear, delete, or cancel. I do not consent, something like that. Just say, I don't consent. You're consenting to not have your energy used for that. You process your challenging emotions, and then you try to be as neutral as you can. Try viewing the things with calmness, serenity, and poise. Okay, you're like, what? But there's a hurricane coming. I understand. But freaking out is not going to help you get your go bag ready and get the family out or whatever, or pull your money out or do the thing. I would say, get as neutral as soon as you can. Get as neutral as you can as soon as you can, because that calmness gives you the most power to actually have the discernment to decide what to do. And perhaps I'm stating the obvious, but how many of us are just freaking out and having all this anxiety? Okay. So, and then I think if you're upset about news, worldwide news, like for example, the flames that went on in Hawaii, I'm trying to avoid algorithms here. I would think you could do two things after you're calm and neutral, as neutral as you can be. I would think of a way to action how you can help. I wouldn't do it through benevolent organizations like the Red Cross, frankly. And FEMA, I would stay where I think those are corrupt, frankly. That's Liz talking, but I would try to, if you know someone on the ground, you can transfer some money or help their GoFundMe. And I know that there's problems with the truckers in Canada, but find a way that you can actually begin to help actually live on the ground, or actually send a box of supplies or something. And maybe it'll work and maybe it won't, but I would avoid benevolent organizations, but try to do people to people, try to help out. Think of a way you can action a help instead of freaking out. You're not helping anyone when you're flipping out and getting mad. Action a way you can help, number one. Number two, you can do energy work to help them. All right. First of all, like I said, getting neutral is helpful. You can send good energy to the situation before you go, good energy, Liz. Like, that's kind of woo. Like, is that even useful? Well, you can try it. So one thing is you can look at a cloud in the sky and you can just make it disappear with your intention. Try it. You can actually create a cloud in the blue sky, not looking directly into the sun, of course. You can actually create a cloud for yourself. You can give it a try. You can actually help. You can send out good hope and healing. I'm going to offer some things to do. I'm going to send a link to and probably do a video on creating a Buddhic column. You can create a Buddhic column, a column of light over an area. Okay. You can put a golden ball of energy around an area and plan and intend that only appropriate loving come in and out of that energy ball. You can put it in diamond white light if you don't want to do a Buddhic column is a fancy way of doing a column of white light. I love Buddhic columns. I set them up all over around me. You can do it over your home. You can do it over your town. You can do it over your state. You can do it over your country. So you can do a Buddhic column. You could do just a column of white light. You can put them in a golden energy ball or a silver or white energy ball. You can send really good, like happy, health and healing thoughts. I know it sounds nutty, but really it'll put you in a better mood. You'll have a better day. And the people who are in trouble at the moment will have a better day for sure. Okay. What is the other thing you can do? You can actually, there's something that I think it's called etheric salt. Salt is a clearing and purifying agent, but it works in all planes of reality. So you can just imagine what I call etheric salt. You could just imagine a column of white salt. I do it all. I'll use a Buddhic column, and as I'm doing that, I'm imagining etheric salt coming down over the area for health and healing. I actually will throw dollars, like mental, like cosmic dollars, and love and light and hearts and sparkles, as I say, to the area. So the area in Hawaii that's having the troubles, I send love and light. I know it sounds goofy. I send energy. I put them in safety to help others. Now, am I going to cure all of it myself? Maybe not. But 3 people, 2 people, 5 people, 100 people sending love and light, 1,000 people, 10,000 people can really affect a lot of change. I mean, there's the Maharishi studies back in the, I forget the years of the studies, but there's a lot of studies showing that meditation really helps people and can reduce crime and things like that. So that's what I want to suggest. I want to keep this video short, but I just suggest take those freaky feelings, the freaked out feelings, the angry feelings, try to neutralize them. You can actually, and do both of these. You can actually send love and light and good energy, and you can actually try to action on the ground, sending money or supplies to the situation, and then use your discernment. By the way, for your own situation, let's say, for example, we've heard that we might have some financial collapse, so the government may have to shut down because of money. And it's true, it might. The days are shortening to October 1. All right. I wouldn't actually follow the news and actually respond to the facts you're getting in any sort of news you get. And even listening to this, I would actually go inside, meditate, use your own discernment. If you feel inspired action that you should do A, B, or C, then I would do it. Whether take your money out, leave your money in, move here, stay here, go there, pack this, do that, prepare this way, get the food, get the house, get the generator, whatever it is. I'm not saying we need to do any of these things. I'm actually not saying that I'm seeing anything necessarily new coming around the pike. It's just in the alt news. It's in the news, so I wanted to offer it to you. I do like Cliff High a lot, and I think that his recent events, he's talking about there's a huge event coming in the fall or the next 6 months. It may indeed happen, and he thinks it's a what we call a directed energy weapon that will be attacking some part of the US, Midwest to the West Coast. That will be, in fact, a distraction possibly to the financial collapse. So, don't look over here at the financial collapse. Look over here and go find the dead bodies in the rubble. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I mean, I just want to put this out so that we can get to a neutral space, do the work now to help ourselves feel neutral and happy. But anyway, take care, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.